Picture this. You wake up, you do your morning routine, and then you decide to take a walk outside. It's a nice day and everything seems fine in this perfect world. At least until something happens. A glitch in reality. What happens when reality glitches and it no-clips you out of it? Well then, you may find yourself in the back rooms. The back rooms, a place where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. Oh, and if you might start feeling lonely, God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. As you can see from this picture, this is the last place you'd want to glitch into. But the question is, how did we get this picture? Well, how did it surface on the internet, and how and where did this all start? Well, let's dive in. It all began on April 21st, 2018. An anonymous 4chan user posted this image in the /x forum in a thread about cursed images. After that, on May 12th, 2019, almost a year later, someone commented a narrative about the picture in a thread on the 4chan's paranormal board. The one I told at the beginning that described the place. And just like that, on May 14th, another thread appeared combining the picture and the comment onto the paranormal board. The picture that started it all. 2 days later, the post appeared on r/greentext and it quickly became very popular. People started sharing the picture and some people got really interested and started writing creepypastas. And that leads us to the lore of the backrooms. As said in the beginning, the backrooms can be seen in different ways, size-wise. Some people see it as infinite, and others keep true to the original 600 million square mile description. It's your choice on how you handle it, since it doesn't really change much because it's massive anyway. So, when you find yourself in the back rooms, a labyrinth of random, indeterminable rooms, halls, and nearly anything you can imagine, you're probably asking yourself, well, what now? Is this all there is? Can I escape? Well, yes, and yes, but it's not that easy. When you reach the back rooms, you'll most likely find yourself in level 0, but there have been occurrences of others finding themselves in level 1, 2, and 3. Also, something worth mentioning is that in the extended backrooms lore there are hundreds of levels, so if you're interested in that, I will leave a link in the description to the extended lore wiki. When you are in one of these levels, the first thing to do is to not panic, as panicking causes you to lose your senses and make noise, which may attract unwanted visitors. The next thing to do is to make a mental note of your surroundings and to determine which level you've landed in. After that, it is said to best accept the backrooms as a place you know, because you will probably be stuck down there for a while, so losing your mind out of fear of your surroundings is not something you want to do. Now, this doesn't mean you're completely safe, because as I said, if you're not careful, something could find you and before you know it, it's all over. But don't worry yet, as the chance of finding these creatures are much higher in levels 2 and 3 and so on, so levels 0 and 1 are pretty safe. Speaking of the lower levels, level 2 for example is much more dangerous. It's much darker, hostile, and has an industrial theme with concrete, metal, and pipes being very prominent. Here you should really be careful and thank God if you have some sort of weapon because you will probably use it. Now level 3 is the most dangerous and hardest to get to, and if you're not considering the extended lore. Going there by choice is essentially committing suicide, as the level itself is pretty much out to kill you. It's very dark and very dangerous. But some say though that going through these levels is the best way to get out of that place. But here is my question: even if you do, how will you live your normal life again after discovering a place like that? Safety is not guaranteed, so who says you can't go to sleep that night and wake up the next morning in level 0 again? Although this is a creepypasta, I remember when I first heard about this a while back, and I was really intrigued because it got me thinking, what would I do in that situation? And to you, the viewer, what would you do? What if a place like the Backrooms actually exists? After all, who says we are living in a simulation, and just like in games and simulations, there could always be glitches. Also, an interesting thing that popped up recently is that the origin of one of the pictures of the supposed backrooms has actually been found. I won't go into too much detail, but a lot of people are interested and are searching the real physical place of where these backrooms pictures are taken, and the investigation is still pretty much active. So as I said, the original version of one of the pictures has actually been found, and it turns out that that picture is heavily edited. I'll show the two pictures right now on screen, and as you can see, the original picture is just a picture of an old office area, which is still creepy, but certainly not as creepy as the Backrooms one, which seems to be, as you can see, heavily edited. But I'd say they did do a pretty good job, as I originally didn't even know it was photoshopped. But all of this thanks to all the investigators, one being David Crypt. I will leave a link to his video in the description if you want to check it out, and in that video he shows how they found the original picture, and that's also where I got the info from. So check him out if you want, and all credit goes to him and all the other investigators that are still to this day looking for the origin of all the original backroom pictures. I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video because this pretty much concludes the video. If you are a subscriber of mine, you know that this is something a little bit different from only reading scary stories, but I really enjoy this way of exploring scary stuff on the internet. From only just reading scary stories, to creepypastas, to discovering weird and dark internet mysteries, I'm all here for it, and I hope you are too.